It's 10:30 p.m. You are not scrolling anymore. You are calculating. If the rent clears on the 1st, and the car payment hits on the 3rd, and the credit card auto pay pulls on the 5th, will there still be enough left to breathe? You did everything right. You got the degree, you got the job, you got the promotion, and yet your money feels tight. Not broke, just stretched all the time. That feeling is not random. It is structural. My name is Evan Ledger. I used to sit in rooms on Wall Street where financial products were designed, priced, and packaged. Tonight, we are going to walk through the financial traps the modern middle class falls into. Not because people are careless, because the system is built to feel normal while it quietly extracts money. The middle class rarely collapses from one huge mistake. It slowly erodes from many small and reasonable decisions running at the same time. Let's begin. Imagine you earn about $4,800 a month after tax in the United States, or around 3,200 euros in parts of Western Europe. That sounds like a solid income, respectable. Now look at the numbers. Rent or mortgage is about $1,800. Car payment is $520. Insurance around $180. Utilities and internet about $300. Groceries $600. Student loan about $350. Subscriptions and memberships about $140. Dining out and normal life maybe $500. Now pause for a moment. You look up, there is maybe $410 left. On paper, you are middle class. In practice, you are fragile. And that is the first trap, the fragility trap. It does not look like debt, it looks like stability. But stability that collapses from one surprise expense is not stability. It is tension. One medical bill, one job loss, one major repair. The system quietly trains people to live with almost zero margin. Why? Because margin is power, and most people are encouraged to spend their margin instead of building it. The second trap feels like success. I call it the raise expansion trap. You earn $60,000 a year, then $75,000, then $90,000. Each raise feels meaningful. But watch what happens. At $60,000, maybe you saved $200 a month. At $75,000, you move to a nicer apartment. Rent goes up by $400. At $90,000, you upgrade the car. Payment rises by another $350. Your lifestyle expands almost perfectly with your income. You feel richer, but your savings barely move. This is normal human psychology. People adjust to comfort very quickly. The nicer apartment feels special for a few months, then it becomes normal. Then you want the next upgrade. Financially aware people ask a different question. They do not ask what they can afford today. They ask what they want their fixed costs to look like 5 years from now. Because fixed costs behave like gravity. Once they rise, they almost never fall. The third trap is debt that feels harmless, the payment illusion. You do not feel like you bought a $45,000 car. You feel like you bought a $640 monthly payment. You do not feel like you owe $28,000 on a credit card. You feel like you manage a $420 minimum payment. You do not think about $80,000 in student loans. You think about the $600 monthly bill. The human brain handles small monthly pain better than large totals. So let's zoom out. That $45,000 car financed at 6% over 6 years ends up costing about $53,000. That's $8,000 in interest just for getting the car earlier. Credit cards are even heavier. In the United States, the average credit card interest rate is around 20%. A $10,000 balance carried for 3 years can cost over $3,000 in interest. In Europe, the rates are often lower, but consumer financing is growing fast. The mechanism is the same. Payments hide the real cost. The system trains people to think in installments. Wealth is built by thinking in totals. The fourth trap is social comparison, not loud envy. Quiet benchmarking. Your colleague moves to a nicer neighborhood. Your friend posts photos from Italy. A classmate buys an apartment at 29. It creates silent pressure. The middle class often measures sideways instead of forward. The real issue is simple. You cannot see their balance sheet. You only see the highlight reel. You do not see the €600 help from parents. You do not see the inheritance. You do not see the 72-month car loan. You compare your full reality to someone else's edited surface. Financially intelligent people compare themselves to one thing, their own net worth from last year, not someone else's car. The fifth trap is delaying retirement investing. Many people say the same thing. I'll start investing when I earn more. It sounds logical, but mathematically it's costly. If you invest $400 a month starting at age 25 and earn about 7% per year, by age 65 you could reach roughly $1 million. If you wait until 35 to start the same $400 per month, the result is closer to $500,000. 10 years cuts the outcome almost in half. Compounding does not respond to intention, it responds to time. Both the United States and Europe face pressure on pension systems. Populations are aging, replacement rates are shrinking. The system quietly assumes you will invest privately, but it rarely teaches long-term thinking, because long-term thinkers consume less today. The sixth trap is home ownership without margin. In the United States, someone might buy a $450,000 house with 5% down. The monthly payment might be about $2,700 with taxes and insurance. It feels manageable until the roof needs replacement. That might cost $18,000. Then property taxes rise. Then maintenance builds up. A house is not just a payment, it is a financial ecosystem. In parts of Europe, many mortgages have variable rates. When interest rates rise, payments can jump hundreds of euros almost overnight. The real trap is not home ownership. The trap is stretching to the maximum amount the bank approves. Banks calculate what you can survive, not what helps you thrive. The trap is subscription drift. It seems small. $14 here, €9 there, $22 for another platform. Streaming, cloud storage, fitness apps, software upgrades. You check your bank statement and see around $180 leaving every month. That's more than $2,000 a year. Invested for 30 years at 7%, that could grow to over $200,000. The trap is not the subscription itself. The trap is unconscious automation. When something runs on autopay, people stop thinking about it. Financial awareness often means adding a little friction. The eighth trap is tax blindness. Most middle-class earners only see their net salary. They rarely study how the structure works. In the United States, an extra $10,000 of income may move part of your earnings into a higher marginal tax bracket. In Europe, social contributions can also compress your take-home growth. Without understanding marginal taxes, retirement accounts, and tax-efficient investing, money leaks quietly through structure. Wealthier households focus on structure first. Middle-class households often focus on small savings. One saves pennies, the other saves percentages. Percentages compound. The ninth trap is believing income equals wealth. A household earning $180,000 per year with no investments and $30,000 in credit card debt is not wealthy. They are high income and highly exposed. Wealth is assets minus liabilities. Income is simply fuel. If the fuel is burned every month, nothing durable is built.
This is why many six-figure earners in America still live paycheck to paycheck. Income rises, but obligations rise faster. The 10th trap is emotional spending disguised as reward. You work hard, you feel tired, you upgrade something. Food delivery instead of cooking, business class instead of economy, luxury instead of standard. None of these are automatically wrong, but when "I deserve it" becomes financial policy, numbers stop caring about feelings. The system sells relief through consumption. Real relief is liquidity. Cash creates options. Options reduce anxiety. Now let's shift perspective. Financially intelligent people are not extreme. They do not live miserable lives. They think in terms of control. They keep fixed costs lower than their income allows. They treat raises as investment accelerators. They see
Debt as useful only when it builds income or long-term value, not status. Their goal is not to look stable. Their goal is to be resilient. Resilience means something simple. If income stops for 6 months, life does not collapse. If markets drop 30%, investments stay untouched. If opportunity appears, cash is available. This is not about hustle culture. It is about margin. Margin creates freedom. The middle class is not failing because people lack intelligence. It operates inside a system that quietly normalizes fragility. Every trap we discussed feels ordinary. That is why they work. The car payment, the nicer apartment, the delayed investing, the comparison, the subscriptions, the stretched mortgage. Each one looks harmless. Together they drain progress. Here is the quiet truth. You do not need a radical overhaul. You need awareness. Once you see how fixed costs behave, how compounding works, how payments hide totals, how lifestyle expands automatically, you stop reacting. You begin designing, calmly, deliberately. Money is not about intensity. It is about structure. And once structure becomes visible, the system becomes predictable. Predictable systems can be navigated. That is the point. Not fear, not hype, clarity. If this helped you see something you had not fully articulated before, consider subscribing. We will keep pulling back the curtain, slowly, rationally, one system at a time.